welcome back to Ready or Not. So, if you're new to my channel here, effectively what I'm doing is I'm going through the Ready or Not campaign, and I have been playing it on Ironman mode. Now, this video is after I have previously died. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring us back up to where we're currently at, which is on the coastal grounds with greased palms. So intent here is to kind of go through what my thought processes are whenever it comes to approaching these different missions, how to be able to engage the suspects, try to get as many individuals to surrender to us as possible, but also at the same time, make sure that we get through this alive and well. So I kind of want to break down some of the different concepts here when it comes down to CQB tactics, the basics, the primitives, if you will, when it comes to engaging on these different practices and how I utilize them within the game. So I had my editor, Volkoy, come forward to me and ask me some basic questions about what he was intrigued about when it came to me entering some of these spaces, how to be able to engage the different areas, and what the thought processes were. So we're going to see about handling it from that angle and going forward from there. Now, the first question that was brought to me was about the initial breach into a hostile space and how to be able to make sure that your team is properly stacked up and prepared to enter it. A lot of the times we want to make sure we do a full map assessment in here, but assuming we got all that done and we're about to conduct our first initial breach, what we are taking into consideration are three separate things: the context, whether or not we have situational awareness, and our team makeup. Now, in this particular scenario, what I've done is I've asked the team to go ahead and stack up onto the door. We're going to be conducting entry into the reception area. So, first and foremost, for context, I know that the enemy is well armed. I'm using non-lethal. When it comes down to situational awareness, my team on the left side of the door is going to be able to see everything to the right. It's just a limitation of the game. It won't let me stack them any other way. So we're going to work with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pie to the right so that way I can see deeper into the space and prep a frag, or in this scenario, a gas canister via launcher. With my team makeup, I know I have my shield up front. He's going to be the one to be able to absorb all the bullets at the end of the day. So he's my tank. He's going into the space. And what we're going to do is we're going to dominate that space as soon and as quickly as possible. You're going to see this all move very quickly.
Bust down the door, clear it on my move. Turn around.
Now that we have properly suppressed and dominated this space, I'm going to wedge this door to my right so that way I can prevent the enemy from routing me out.
Great work, entry team. Keep it up.
Move in, clear the room. Heading into place.
We then continue our flow into the next space after I get this guy to properly stack.
I'm going. Opening on the left.
And dominate and control.
Blue.
So, quick and easy. The major focus here is to ensure that your team has all of the greater opportunity and advantage when entering a room in a space. By providing flashes, stingers, grenades, you support that along the way. Now, let's look at the next one.
Flow right.
So my team here, I want to have them start on the right. The reason why is because I want to be able to get to the left side of this door and be able to look into this next space. Again, the concept of operations is still the same. Get the most situational awareness possible. Flash a grenade or throw something in there to be able to give your team an advantage. Here we go. And then dominate the space. The AI is actually very smart in this game in how they do space domination. They go for the deepest corners and the farthest corners possible to be able to make sure they have all the angles within the room as quickly as possible. Again, we reset, reestablish our stack, Get ourselves onto the left side of the door here because I want them to be able to, again, give me an angle into the room. Keep them on the tight side where I think they're going to be safest. Have them open up the door, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in another grenade.
Kick it down. Gas the room and clear. Breaking.
Let it cook.
Let's go! Put your hands up! Over there.
Now we're in.
On my way. Split and cover.
When it comes to these smaller rooms, procedurally moving through them quickly and smoothly doesn't necessarily mean you have to hit them as fast as possible. It also means that you're not going into there as slow as you possibly can either. What you're trying to do is you're trying to prevent the enemy from being able to rout you, from being able to get around you. Sometimes it requires you to move hastily into different positions. You can't move so fast that you lose the control of your team. Right now what I'm doing is I'm setting up my team to move into the next space, but I'm suspicious of this back door. This is where I find an adversary. He immediately starts shooting at me. I immediately start trying to get him suppressed. Continuous pepper sprays here to be able to get him into a position where he's actually going to surrender and have him come back towards me. Now this is a very precarious position I've put myself into here. I don't want to go outside because I will be exposed to long-range engagements with ballistic rifles. I have a pepper ball gun, and if you've ever played with pepper ball on here, or you've played paintball at all, you will know the shot accuracy of this weapon is not great by any means. So I'm not going to try to get in a long-range engagement. I'm going to try to get this guy to come to me. I am able to control the individuals within the game, so I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to control and suppress the situation as best as I can. Now, he's not responding to coming through this door. Sometimes what happens is that in the game, their pathing gets screwed up, and it causes an issue. So I have to come meet him. Problem is that he stands up because he became more confident. Again, the game operates off of a fear and confidence scale. The more confident they become, the more likely they're act against you. The more fear you put into them, the more likely they're able to respond to requests for action. Got him suppressed, and I have that situation probably controlled. I'm going to have another team member wedge the door to prevent anybody from outside routing us, and we're going to continue moving on from there. This next push was a bit aggressive.
Hit the door and clear with CS. On gas.
We'll lose everything.
Opening on the right. Tell you again.
Let's take a minute to talk about why this worked and how it probably won't work in other situations. Once again, team makeup is absolutely important. I have a shield on my team. He's in the optimal position to be able to start taking this door. And the cool thing is that as first man on the team, he's also going to be going for the deepest part of the next room, which is the hallway. So he's going to push all the way to the end of the hallway. Having my shield at the front of the stack, pushing all the way to the end and absorbing any form of bullet along the way is going to enable a moving wall towards our enemy. That's exactly what we want. And we're going to be able to take every opportunity to take down that target. So we're going to go into the room, and now with the first man going as deep as possible, third man's going to follow up behind first man. I'm going to see that there's an HVT at the end of the room. That's Mr. Brixley. We're going to see about trying to get a shot off on him. In the meantime, third man keeps strafing back and forth on me. Good trigger discipline and good control of the angle is going to enable us to be able to get that guy. But we're still not done. So now we need to go into this next space because this is the most aggressive space and it's got my HVT. I immediately start suppressing the bathroom because I saw a guy poke his head out from behind there. I'm going to go ahead and get another angle on this door and get my team ready to stack on the door because I know that he's going to be coming up next.
Dynamic movement. Gas and clear.
Having my team stack up like that with my shield coming up front is going to enable me to be able to, first of all, take care of the HVT and then also re-engage how I want to be able to attack this door next. I want to throw a gas into this threshold, but I'm keeping my team stacked so that way in case this goes wrong, I know that I have security of the situation. I'm telling you, the shield is an awesome member to have on your team. Have at least one for sure, and you'll be able to get through almost any hairy situation. Once I get this guy secure, I'm going to make sure that I have another angle of the space just to make sure no one's coming from the west side. It looks like nobody reacted. So what I want to see about doing is get my team stacked up and ready to move into the main office space. You should be seeing a pattern by now. Effectively what I'm doing is I'm trying to get it so that my team has the most advantageous position. I want them to clear the door, stacked up, and be prepared to be able to move into the next space. I don't care what's happening behind this door. All I need to do is dominate that space, contain it, control it, suppress it, whatever needs to happen. We kick here because we want to be able to increase the level of aggression in the room and encourage a level of fear into our enemies. We now contain the space by closing the secondary door. Holy smokes. Our guy may have gotten lit up a bit right there, but by closing that door in the back, we have now successfully contained the space and now dominate the space. What I want to ensure is that no one is able to come in through that door, so we're going to see about putting a wedge on it, and then we'll move on to the next one. We are not overextending our spaces here. Control what you have. Don't overextend. Do not chase. Win your fights. Hold your angles, and you'll be able to get through any situation, no matter what the issue is. Now, for the next engagement, we start moving up the stairwell towards the rooftop. Now, first and foremost, when we come around this corner, we're going to get a little bit of a surprise here on this guy. Stairwell's properly contained now, and I'm going to see about getting one of my team members to come up and restrain the individual. Moving into this next space is interesting. Well, like I said earlier, I don't like going outside with the current kit that we have right now. Again, pepper ball is not accurate at longer distances. You're able to hit your targets, sure. However, they are not the most impactful whenever it comes to making your suspects respond to action. What I'm doing here is I have them close the door, and I prepare the space by first getting an understanding of what is outside there. I want to make sure that if there is any enemy whatsoever, that we're able to suppress them with gas instead, versus going out there on our own dry. However, whenever we are done with the mirror here, we have identified that nobody is outside the door. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a gamble here. We're just going to go ahead and clear the space with our current kit.
Go, go, go! We're switching. Ready to knock. Swap with me. Moving in! Opening on the right.
Pressing onto the rooftop shows that no immediate enemy contact is available. But I certainly do find somebody out in the alleyway out there, and he taps me hard. I try to re-engage, but I don't exactly have a good visual on the enemy target here. I attempt using gas to suppress the back corner, however, he looks like he came up short. Popping a second one to try to contain, but it bounces off the ground into the back left corner. So now I do not have the advantage here. I'm trying to use my own gas, but I'm out of gas at this time. I tried telling my team to deploy gas, but they also don't want to pay attention to me. So I get them to stack up in an attempt to be able to, hey, let's start moving in, and I want to start pushing down the stairwell with the rest of my team to assist. But all in all, I determined at the end of the day that was way too hot of a situation. It was probably better for me to disengage and attempt to re-engage from the outside at a closer distance so I can close that distance to properly contain those individuals.
Split and cover. Got it. Locked.
Now, when I do the re-engagement, I have the team stack up on the next door. I'm going to go ahead and use gas. Gas came from left to right, and, well, we're short on the right side. We need to go deeper on the left. So I switch over, and we identify the civilian contact out front. We're still hunting a man. In fact, we're probably hunting two guys. Not entirely sure yet. What we'll see about doing is we're going to go ahead and contain this civilian, though, as we get ready for you to do the next engagement. But I am hearing that contact, so let's see if we can respond.
Down and keep your hands up. I don't know anything.
I'm trying to flip through the menus here, attempt to get my team put together. However, they already have a good angle and containment. What I need to see about doing is try to get them stacked in this next guy so I can get him contained. Notice though that my two team members, as they came around this corner, were facing the opposite direction. That kind of tells me in the back of my mind that there is another enemy contact that probably got back past us and probably went up the stairwell again. So we're going to have to go back and recontain. Let's take care of this guy first.
Hands on your head, now!
I'm not telling you a goddamn thing.
Good to go. Fall in.
So we're going to do our final cleanup here. We're going to go ahead and move up the stairwell and try to find the last guy. Peekaboo.
I got it. Evidence is good.
We just tag and bag.
Suspect ready to go. Secured.
Talk to element. Copy entry team. Notifying trailers.
All in all, not a bad run, and certainly an easy way to be able to start getting yourself into an S, as long as you can overcome the challenges and maintain a course of direction where you're saying, hey, contain, control, and you'll be able to get through it all. Oh my god, we made it back. We made it back. Holy smokes. And it basically did S grade on everything except for those first two. I need to reassess those. That was an accident. That's okay. Hell yeah.